me to stand on the already established other programs. Our invited guest speaker, the person of Dr. Muhammad Isa, all invited guests of honor, student leaders here present, NUBOSS, friends of NUBOSS, well-wishers of NUBOSS, well as all comrades abroad. It is my singular honor and privilege to categorically welcome each and every one to this auspicious and gracious occasion, organized by the vibrant escort of the National Union of University Students, University of Medical Chapter. The theme of this workshop is the pathway from commemoration of today to the proper leadership of tomorrow. This theme is carefully selected because most of us here are student leaders, and typically we are on that path of transitioning from the commemoration of today to the proper leadership of tomorrow.
I know the topic given to me is not attractive. I don't think it will be attractive topic because due to our human nature, corruption is a way to lucrative and luxurious life, and naturally a human being like luxury. Naturally human being like enjoyment. So, and my role here is to preach against the corruption, and after preaching against the corruption and to highlight the consequences, the repercussions and the effects of this corruption in our society. So I want to apologize, comrades, to bear with me, and is the solution to our current problem. Thank you. I have been honored by the esteemed organizers of this great occasion to deliver a topic titled Leadership Without Corruption. And there are two important phenomena here. And if you look at them, there's strong relationship, regression, negative relationship between corruption and leadership. Whenever one of them increases, the other one tends to decrease. So, whenever there's good leadership, corruption tends to decline. And whenever corruption increases, good leadership reduces. So, in the course of this seminar, I will make it two traffic, a very interactive session. I will be asking you your view, your thoughts on the topic at hand and your understanding. Because the most important thing in this life is to convince people, is to brain feed people, not to brainwash people. Without your acceptance, without your approval, without you believing what I'm saying, without you believing what is that corruption, it will be very difficult for me to achieve the aims of this lecture. So the topic at hand is timely, is crucial, and thought-provoking. I want to ask you guys, please, what is your understanding on corruption? There are several definitions of corruption. The most popular one definition of corruption is abuse of entrusted power for private gain by Morris. This is the most, Stephen Morris. This is the most popular, and it is umbrella definition that no matter how you define corruption, it will be under these things. And corruption, whenever we say corruption, people tend to look at money. It's not only money. There are a lot of corruption in our society. Apart from bribery, even with your speech, in course of this lecture, I will highlight a lot of them. But before I proceed, I want somebody to tell me what is your understanding on corruption. What is corruption? Mr. Speaker, Kabir, what's your understanding?
Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful question. My take on corruption is any act that stands to be against the norms and as well as established way of doing things. Be it you've been entrusted with a particular responsibility and perhaps you couldn't actually perform it to the best of your ability, be it trying to make short corners in a way that one has to be on a particular queue, be it trying to get undue advantage from your colleagues as well as from places of work. So any act that goes against the established way of doing things can be termed as corruption.
Thank you very much. Did you people agree with him? Are we in agreement with his definition? Are we in agreement? NUBOSS. Agreed, Mr. President? Agreed? So, and one component of the topic is leadership. What is the concept of leadership? Whenever we say leaders, we don't mean ordinarily we will be trusted to some responsibility, be it with your family, be it with your younger brothers, a monitor in class, a class rep, a NUBOSS president, escorts, and all that. So leadership, the concept of leadership, everybody is a leader. And it's not only elected people, even you at the grassroots, without your contribution, without you being fighting corruption, without you contributing your quotas, there is no how to achieve a corruption-free society. So the concept of leadership, who, apart from this guy, Mr. President, can you help me? What is leadership?
Yeah, in summary, I believe that leadership is being in charge.
Is
Being in charge.
Reservoir. You want to say something? Yeah.
To my own assumption, I believe that leadership is fundamental aspect of human progress. That's the first step to take.
Thank you very much. Are you in agreement? Okay. Mr. Elo. Go ahead. Give him the...
From my own perspective, leadership is to convince and guide people to achieve goals.
Thank you very much. Is to convince people. Yeah, it's part of leadership because it's a broad, very broad perspective that can consume, accommodate different definitions. Thank you very much. Then we have laid the foundation and we are in agreement. Leadership, corruption. And I have said the relationship is negative relationship, strong negative relationship. When the one increases, the other one tends to decrease. Regressional analysis for those of you in statistics. Okay, what are the causes of this corruption? For us to tackle this problem, we need to look at it systematically. What are the causes of this corruption? What are the causes of this corruption? I have my notes, but I don't know. Do you have something in your mind? What are the causes of corruption? Because for you to control something as a medical student, for you to cure something, you need to find out what is the cause, what is the root cause. Then what are the causes of this corruption? Babu, can you help us? Who again? What are the causes of corruption? Who? You want to say something? Well, okay. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, from my own perspective, causes of corruption is actually lack of patience and haste in making progress. When someone doesn't have that patience, he will follow the shortcuts, which through that I think you end up doing the correct corruption.
Thank you very much. I agree with you 100%. You say lack of patience. If you are desperate, whenever you are desperate, you have potential to do all evil to accomplish what you intended to accomplish. And when you are when you are in haste in life, you must drive a way of manipulating. So, among the causes of corruption, greed is the most powerful cause of corruption. If we need to accumulate wealth. Naturally, human beings like accumulation of wealth. In Christianity and Islam, we all believe human beings naturally, they like accumulation of wealth. They like accumulation of livestock. They like accumulation or having possession of luxurious houses and all sorts of luxury in life. So if you are too greedy, you have number one potential or you have number one characteristic of being corrupt in your life. And another is extravagant life. We have extravagant life. If you want to live beyond your means, you are a student, but you want to drive a very luxurious car. You are a student, but you want to wear a very expensive clothes. You are a student and you want to date a very beautiful lady. Yellow ladies. You are a student, you want to attend a nightclub. We don't have nightclubs here, but in Abuja and Lagos, you see how people are spending money in hotels. You are a student, your parents are taking your responsibility, paying your school fees, paying your house rent, paying your all this, your necessity of being a student. But you want to live beyond your means. Living a luxury life, I'm not against luxury life. But if you have means, if you are son of a governor, for instance, even without corruption, God gave them something. God gave them a wealth that they can live comfortably. This is favor that Allah used to give it to other people. So I'm not against luxurious life. Enjoy yourself. But the bad thing is, don't seek for this enjoyment through illegal means. Because there are a lot of illegal means now in existence. But the funny thing is, most of these illegal things, there are repercussions. There are repercussions. There are consequences in this world and hereafter. I used to mention this world and hereafter because I know 99.9% of we are either Muslims or Christians. And if you are humanists, or for instance, if you are atheists, you don't need to do corruption because it doesn't agree with humanity, sense of good, morality, sense of empathy. You need to be patient, you need to be sympathy and empathy to other creatures, not even human beings. So even if you are atheist, corruption, because you know the consequences of this corruption will lead to many people will die. The nature of our road, nature of our hospital, status of our educational institution, they are dilapidated because of corruption. So, and in hereafter, as Muslims and Christians believe, there are accountability. We need to put this thing in our mind. This is very controversial to younger people now, because we think we are too wise. I used to give this example. If artificial intelligence that we are talking about, artificial intelligence needs coding, needs programmer, needs instruction from the programmer, from its creator. Why do you think we human beings that were created by God, we don't have any constitution, any protocols, any procedure on how to go, on how to live? So if even AI that we do appreciate today, it needs instruction. We also need instruction. So majority of us here, we do believe that corruption doesn't agree with either of the religion or even an atheist. Even if you are an atheist, the corruption go against your principles of life. Then lack of strong institution. Lack of strong institution also encourages corruption. Because had it been we had strengthened institution to checkmate the corruption, to checkmate, to monitor how people do things, and to prosecute accordingly with justice and fairness, I don't think this corruption will continue. As I have said, fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. This statement is too controversial, but this is the only thing. We are too smart, and no matter how you strengthen the institution, still we are too smart, as somebody said, we are too smart to the extent that we can bypass all these institutions and we can bypass all these restrictions. So the only fear, the fear of God will make you to think apart from the institution, apart from all bureaucratic processes, and apart from the legal repercussions that will happen to you. You will look at it that Allah, your creator, is watching you, and you will give accountability of what you stolen. And if you look at it, sometimes most of what we stole, most of what we looted, we are not the one using it. You have 40 houses, but you are living in only one house. You slaughter a cow, but you eat like 3 pieces. Because you have uric acid, you have diabetes, you have heart problems, other people will chop. And you will give accountability, either in court of Allah or in our conventional court here. So, among the causes of corruption, I say poor governance and lack of strong institutions to checkmate the activities of and deficiency of religious knowledge. If you learn much about your religion, both of these majority religion, be it Christianity or Islam, they talk about corruption. And if you look at the leaders of these institutions, they are trying their best. Be it imams and pastors, they are trying their best. But among them, there are some questionables. So, it's very, very important for us to have our knowledge of God hereafter, repercussion, even in this life. We ask, most of us will live in this world not up to 100 years, and you will stay for thousands of years somewhere. Even without the day of accountability, you will stay somewhere unknown, not communicating with anybody for thousands or millions of years. So, these are the causes of corruption. As I've said, my lecture will be two-way traffic, interactive. Give me 2 causes of corruption before we move to the next line of. Yeah.
1 minute.
Go ahead. But speak louder.
Go.
Bribery. Thank you very much. What? Cheating. Thank you very much. Tribalism. Yeah. What? Go ahead. Okay, somebody behind you. Comrade. Go, NUBOSS. Greediness. Yeah. We have mentioned it earlier. What? Fadarism. Called fadarism. Yeah. Selfishness. Yeah. Very important. Selfishness. If you are selfish, you have potential to commit all sort of atrocity. Yeah. Poverty, poverty, poverty. How do you think poverty will encourage corruption? But the poverty is artificial poverty. All poverty that causes corruption is artificial poverty. Most of these prophets of God, they live in extreme poverty. Thank you very much. I have only 10 minutes left. Then, what are the negative consequences of corruption? Our sub-team again, negative consequences, negative effect of corruption on our society. Can anyone support us? It undermines our economic growth. Corruption undermines our economic growth. Do you agree with me? Because when money was budgeted for something, to build a market, to build a road, and that road, if properly implemented, it will facilitate our economic activities, and somebody looted the whole money. So this will affect economic growth of that region. So among the negative consequences of corruption is undermining the economic growth, and it creates poverty. As we said, most of this poverty were artificially created because of activities or because of what somebody needs, and it creates unemployment. It also creates injustice. We have few minutes to go. I want us to look at the way forward. Whenever you highlighted problem associated with something, the best thing is to have what are the way forward. I have my own, but after listening my own, I will listen to you so that we conclude and find out what are the way forward. The first one, as I've said, fear of God. We are too smart. Whatsoever institution we put in place, some people will bypass that protocols. So the best thing is to instill the fear of God and humanity. As I've said, we are human. We tend to sympathize with other creation, not only human beings, not only somebody in your own religion. All creation, even these plants, you need to have sympathy and empathy means towards all creation. So, and morality, the sense of good and bad. As a human being, somebody was budgeted or somebody is budgeted for the entire community, and you take it, you enjoy you and your family, and you are seeing people dying in hospital, dying as a result of bad money, dying as a result of insecurity, which is as a result of your inaction or your action. So another thing is more parents. Parents should play their role in instilling the culture of integrity. Before, whenever you meet with elders, the first thing they will ask you, where are you? You say, I'm in university, part what? Which course? I'm in medicine, part congratulations. If you graduate, where are you working? Before, everybody in our society respect professor. No matter what professor is, correct. People give them respect. But nowadays, whenever you make people, they will start looking at what type of clothes you are wearing, what type of car you come with. Nobody mind the source of income. Nobody mind. You can have your money in Yahoo, but still in your church, in your mosque, people will respect you. You will sell drugs and build mosques. People will pray for you. You as a graduate, you read chemistry, you graduate, finish your service. You want to marry very fine girl. They will say, somebody is millionaire now, came from Abuja, he has money. So parents should play the role in the fighting corruption. The second, then our school system need to play their role in terms of curriculum, instill integrity to students right from primary school. I'm presenting a lecture in one private school. I'm praying for them. Allah muku albarka. One of them say, Allah samu kudi. And this is the ideology he got in the community. Because at that age, he don't know what is richness, what is wealth. The ideology, he don't know. So, a school system, right from nursery to higher education, we need to play our role in fighting corruption. And you can't fight something only with recognition or with convicting people. No, convincing people, as I've mentioned earlier, brain feeding people about the consequences of this corruption. Because nobody is enjoying, even the one that did it, nobody is enjoying. Then our religious institution in Africa, we respect religious institution, be it church or mosque. So this institution, let them play their role in preaching, challenging, and investigating. Whenever somebody wants to build mosques, try to find out what is the source of income. If somebody came from Abuja with millions, and you know, even if you work for 35 years, you can calculate how much government planned for you. If you have more than 1 billion, it's questionable. As a government worker, if you have more than 1, it's questionable. I'm not saying it's corruption, but it's questionable. If you look at the due process, then our government, we have already mentioned, a government to strengthen the institution, improve the incentive, as somebody mentioned, the nature of you are paying somebody 16,000 and you see millions of naira passing through his office. You are making him potential thief. So the welfare of government workers is something that needs to be put in place. Because as I mentioned earlier, we like luxury. Every human like enjoyment is a verse in the Quran. So, somebody that worked for 30 years, after retirement, you are giving him 32,000. His children will not understand all this thing. At the end of the day, they will say, even my father that worked for 35 years, and after him 35 years is suffering, staying in rented houses, we call him 35,000. But somebody that joined politics is now millionaire now. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. So government should play their role in terms of welfare of the staff, incentive, good working, or conducive working environment for the staff, so as to deter them to from being this. And society at large, whenever you are moving, no matter how brilliant you are, even if you have IQ equivalent to Albert Einstein, nobody will respect you in your society. Nobody wants to give you a chance. Nobody. So even in society, sometimes I used to wonder, you see somebody praising governor and castigating president. So praising senator and castigating chairman, praising president and all these things. Government is a system. As I've said, it's not time to criticize. It's to tell what have you done? What role have you played as a student union? What role have you played? If these people will give you money and you accept that money, You'll be enjoying it. I'm close to the senator. I'm close to the governor. I'm close to the president. Every day in, day out, we want to establish connection with these people, and we are causing them. I wonder, we don't need to call them, and we don't need to look for all this connection. Just work hard. If we see the culture of work hard, working hard, try to be very dedicated to what you are doing. If you are reading Hausa, be very dedicated. Try to understand this Hausa. Try to be able to compete with a graduate from US, with a graduate from ABU, with a graduate all over the world. So nothing is impossible. But try to make connection. We also always we are trying to make connection with these politicians. And at the end of the day, we are castigating them. So this is also corruption. Then we need to sanitize our recruitment processes. Right from recruitment, we need to pick the right people, and we need to pick the competent people. We need to pick the people that deserve these positions, and we need to sanitize our electioneering processes. Without sanitizing our electioneering processes, I don't think we can have a better system, because nobody will fund your campaign. Nobody will fund your campaign without a planned, established ambition or intention. Be it religious body. Even if the religious body fund your campaign, they have a defined ambition they want to achieve. If it is politician, if it is businessman, he has defined ambition that you want to achieve with you. And whether you like it or not, you must dance to his tune. And if you dance to his tune, you are corrupt. So without sanitizing our recruitment processes and without sanitizing our electioneering processes, right from campaign, right from primary election to secondary election, we are going nowhere. Thank you very much. Sorry, I bypass your protocols. I want to land somewhere. Before I say bye, any addition, any correction, any comments, any suggestion? Babu, thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much. Ina fatan Allah ya mana albarka gaba daya. Allah ya sa mu yaki corruption. Ko ba Hausa ne? Na gode.
Let me also commend the first speaker for speaking out. I think you people should also have to be in the queue. In fact, I'm very proud and very honored that we have people that will speak even if we are away. And you have to wake up to that call. And presentations of lectures in public is not easy. As young as your colleague, he really stood his ground. He really pulverized everything along the expected topics for you to have a proper grasp of what he has been saying. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am really honored to see you in that mood, and I hope you will continue. So coming back to the subject matter of our discussion, you asked me to talk to you about corruption-free leadership or leadership without corruption, right? So these are two independent variables. Leadership is an independent variable. Corruption is also independent variable. But when you conjoin the two, the one will conjoin the other. Why? Because if you set corruption as independent variable, will it influence leadership as a dependent variable? Or when we are talking about leadership, will it influence corruption as dependent variable? I don't know whether you are getting what I am saying. The two are independent on themselves, but at the same time, which one influences the other? Is it corruption that influences leadership, or leadership influences corruption? One should be independent variable, the other one should be what? Dependent variable. Which one? Let me see you. Is it leadership that will influence corruption, or corruption influence the leadership? Can I see your hand? If it is the leadership that will influence corruption, let me see your hand. Leadership influence corruption? Okay then, let me see if corruption influence leadership. Okay, which means leadership influence corruption have the say and they are in majority. But before I start the lecture, I want you to understand that for my students who are Christians, I want you to understand that what is it contained in the Holy Quran is 70% from the Bible. And you should understand that I am not all that biased to be quoting from the Holy Quran because this is the religion of the state. But at the same time, whatever I quoted from the Holy Quran is also endorsed from the Holy Bible. So I will start with that. وَلَا تُفْسِدُ فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا فَادْعُوهُ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا وَلَا تُفْسِدُ فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا. Do not plunder, do not fumble when things are put aright. What will happen? And lower your wing, work in honesty, in conformity with the established norms and values. Inna rahmatallah, the mercy of God Almighty, garibun, much more closer min al mufsidin, for those that are doing good. Sadakallahu al-azim. What do you deduce from that? Is it the corruption that will influence leadership or leadership influence corruption? Which one now? Go back again. Inna Allah ya'murukum bil adli wal ita'i. When he anil fasha wal munkar. When he anil fasha what? Wal munkar. Aside again. Now, when you check these two verses, it will equal to وَقُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةَ وَكُلًا مِنْهَا رَغَدًا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمَا وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. 3. The 2 will equal to the last. You are from Adam. Adam is made from clay or dust, and as a result of that, you are a dust. That's why the Holy Quran constantly reminds you your origin, where you belong to, and where you are emanated from. Now, why did Adam behave the way he shouldn't behave as ordained by his creator? وَإِذْ قُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةَ وَكُلًا مِنْهَا رَغَدًا. We said unto Adam and his wife, do not approach this tree. I hope you are getting what I am saying. That is the law. Adam was seduced by his beloved wife, Hawa, our mother, that she wants to take the fruit from the tree that is already forbidden. But there is a law. Don't approach that. Are you getting what I am saying? For Adam to fulfill the need of the one that he loves, he now tempered the law. He sidelined the law. He defied the commandment from his God Almighty, approached and plucked the fruits of that tree. And they were what? Sent out. Who is the leader between the two? Adam is the leader. The wife is the follower. What is the law? Do not approach this tree. And then the follower influenced the leader to temper with what is forbidden. And that led to their downfall. I don't know whether you are getting what I am saying. Are you getting what I am saying? Anybody who think that human beings are not corrupted, they are only deceiving themselves. By our nature, we are corrupt individuals. But the degree of corruption differs. Corruption is vertical and horizontal. Vertical, horizontal is inbuilt in your body. And the essence of the hereafter is to examine the level of your corrupt practices. Corruption against your soul of taking what you are not supposed to take. Drug addiction. Even these minerals that you are taking If the glucose level is too high, when you take it, it will affect your body functions and structures. And because of the befitting word of sarcasm, you just wanted to satisfy the need temporarily. You have taken the Fanta or the Coke or the Maltonic and you find yourself in the hospital. You have already corrupted your soul. But corruption vertically of taking what is not in consonant with your own soul will tend to bring in those that loves you and those that care for you's attention to be there alongside with you in the hospital, which becomes horizontal. Vertical, you started it. Horizontal, you are now involving others because your parents will not stand by when you are already admitted in the hospital. The doctors that are much more busier will have additional patients. It becomes horizontal. The government that is complaining of lack of equipment in the hospital is also a burden. The space of admission in the hospital is also occupied. Now you can see one leading to the other aspect of it. So try to understand that corruption is vertical and horizontal. Even for you to see me, the way you see me, God Almighty will even ask you, why did you look at Ibrahim the way you look at him? This is corruption. What was the intent of looking at me? What meaning did you attach when you are looking at me? I don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying. My son, be careful when you are delivering lectures in relation to corruption. You have to be careful, much more careful. What is seen as a corrupt in this angle will not be seen as what? Corruption on the other angle. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying. But corruption that you people are asking for is that corruption of usurpation, of breach of trust, of subversion and diversion of a trust bestowed upon somebody to discharge as a responsibility when they acclaim into that position. And that's why you said leadership and corruption. Then even that leadership, let us contextualize it. The student union that organizes you here have a structure. They have executives, isn't it? Among the executive, they are all leaders, but they have somebody as their leader. I hope you are getting what I am saying. When you go home, there is a leader at home, father. In the absence of the father, you have the mother. Then you have the brothers, starting from the elder brother to the youngest amongst them. Each is having statutory responsibility to perform. The leader may be overall boss of the house, but the mother is overall boss in the kitchen. The elder brother or the elder sister oversees the activities of the younger ones. If anyone falters, the governance of the house will not go smoothly. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying. So now you can understand the intricacies between the corruption and leadership. So what is a leadership? Leadership is a position bestowed on somebody in order to coordinate, harmonize, and actualize the envisaged ambition that you call it vision. You have vision, mission, and objective. And for you to achieve the objective based on the vision and the mission, you are placed in that position to achieve it. And in the processes, you are given resources toward achieving the particular objective. If you now allocate these resources outside the attainment to the specific objective, it becomes what? I don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying. It becomes what? Corruption. Now, what is corruption? Corruption is a socio-psychological composition. Socio-psychological composition of innate on humans to swindle and abrogate what does not belong to them by sidelining it into his or her personal gain. To swindle what is hitherto owned collectively to be utilized personally. That is corruption. All of you are my students. You all attended lectures. I administered test or CA and I release a result based on your performance. And if you see a number of somebody who did not attend that test appearing from the result sheet of the test, it means is what? What do you call that? Corruption. A student who did not attend the lecture, hiring somebody to sit for the test for him or for her is what? Is corruption. Is corruption. So corruption is inbuilt. Is inbuilt in your attitude. That's why we say socio-psychological. The way you see it, the way you perceive it. And therefore, psychologically, let us come to it. Are you with me? There is no I. There is no I when there is no they. I is an embodiment of they. They is an embodiment of I. So who corrupt who? Who corrupts who? There is no I speaking to you when there is no they. You, my students. I is an embodiment of they. Everybody here is I. When you collectively come together, you become what? They. They, over time, like my son here, is going to be embodiment of what? I. He will be speaking to you here. Engineers, doctors, pharmacists, you graduate, you leave. In the processes, you now discharge your responsibilities in the societies based on the training that you had from your department, from the university. If you didn't get it right, you will not fix it right. You can only give what you have. If you didn't put it correctly, you will not do it correctly. It is what you call decadence. There is no I. If I refuse to do as I'm supposed to do, you will not get it as you're supposed to get it. What will be the implication? Who is going to take care of me after? When you become what you are, and you are in charge to take care of me, will I have the appropriate attention? Will I have? Will I have? No. Because you are not trained to it, you are not prepared for it. You left home, they gave you transport money, you left home, you come here, wasted your time. You said you are attending lectures, you attend lectures, your attention is not with the lectures, you get your D grade, E grade, you take it home, and you said you have graduated and yet you didn't secure a job. Who is to be blamed? Who is to be blamed? You blame yourself. Or if on the alternative you have your own connection, they gave you A that you did not deserve, and because of your A grade, you are placed on a very higher position, you are not in position to discharge that responsibility. Who is to be blamed? That's the meaning of there is no I when there is no they. Somebody used his power to shape things. When the things become manifest, he became the first victim of it. This is the problem of corruption. You train engineers poorly, every month building is collapsing in Lagos simply because you put too many attachments. Importance on what? Paper qualification without consideration of the real experience. Everybody is coming to university for what? For what? I heard him talking about university. In fact, if we are a serious country, we couldn't have the number of universities that we are having today. These universities should have been monotechnics and polytechnics. Monotechnics and polytechnics are the pillars of economic development in any country. They are the pioneer that will come up with innovation, innovative ideas. They are the entrepreneurs. Polytechnics and monotechnics don't go to government seeking for job. They create the job for themselves. They employ others. Universities are polishing position. It's a status that will be attained through leadership training. All of you will graduate in the university, there is no commensurate job. When you graduate, there is an appointment, vacancy in your state or local government or at the national level, yet it belongs to secondary school or university. Somebody who is having a degree is given an appointment on grade 3, which is supposed to be for what? Secondary school. Somebody that has graduated will be given a position in grade 5, which is supposed to be for diploma or 6. Why? Corruption. Corruption on the system, on the structure, and on the process of the governance itself. Even if it will remain as universities, the university should have followed the way for entrepreneurship, for technological development. Look at China. All the universities are converted into polytechnics. And China dominates everything. When I came in, I heard my son talking about artificial intelligence. That is the only thing that is ruling the world today. Not petroleum. Not petroleum, not gold, not diamond, but artificial what? Intelligence. Look at Mark Zuckerberg, what do you call it? Look at Elon Musk. These are the people that are accommodating American president. They are what? University dropouts. They are not graduates. But they invent, they innovate. But your emphasis is paper qualification. You and I, let us ask ourselves seriously, what value do you have as students? What value? As a professor, let me ask myself, what value do I add to my community? My dear children, when you are talking about corruption, always feel that you are swimming in it. You are part and parcel of the corruption. For you to say no, you have to join crusade in fighting against corruption. How do you say no? Self-discipline. Do I deserve this? There is a saying of Sayyidina Umar. Before you go to bed, recollect what you have done throughout the day. Because you are not guaranteed that you will witness the other day. I hope you are getting what I am saying. The same Sayyidina Umar said, don't consider people's prayers and fasting as a basis of judgment. This is a lie. They are pretending. Pastor, bishop, reverend, sheikh, imam. No, forget about this. Their personal attitude is different from their knowledge of the religion. I don't know whether you are getting what I am saying. You go to mosque, you pray 5 times, I don't have problem. Go to church, there is no problem. Speak the right things, but my observation and my consideration on you according to Sayyidina Umar is the way I behave and conduct my behavior will be the basis of assessing who an individual is. Not the fasting, not the recitation of the Holy Quran, not what? Not the prayers. These are your personal belongings, but your ability to carry on people, to really deliver on people's needs, by not taking side with anybody, to be objective and rational in deploying resources that is entrusted on you, that is the person that should be in leadership position. Not your religion, not the way you fast or you pray, or not what you say, but your ability to deliver. I don't know whether you are getting what I am saying. So when you are talking about that, now you now sense it. Who do you vote? I still heard him saying that. Who do you vote? Are you voting for somebody because you share the same religion with him, the same tribe with him, the same community and locality with him? Or because he is going to be voted as a result of his quality of meeting what you are expecting out of him? When you do it anyhow, it will be anyhow. So now come back to your leadership and corruption again. Corruption is socio-psychological cognition of people's mind and attitudes. It is embedded in human behavior. And then leadership is a predisposition, a privileged position within which an individual is going to occupy a position that is entrusted on him on behalf of the collectivities in achieving specific objective. If that person that occupies that position is corrupt, I heard him saying fearing Allah. Yes, consciousness of God Almighty. You know God Almighty. Let me ask you, God created all of us. He also sanctioned us. But that God has no police and soldiers that will enforce his laws on the face of the earth. Akwai malaiku sun saba sauka? Why are taba gani malaika? Shaitan fa. You see, this is your problem. This is your problem. You emphasize on theocracy, theology, Allah, 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 all this. No, it's not like this. You don't fight corruption through Allah. Those that are saying Allah, Allah, Jesus, Jesus, they are the most corrupt if you don't know. More corrupted than the politicians if you don't know. Because they are conjoining and having cocktail parties with the politicians behind the scene. They are the ones that are roaming around government and public offices seeking for contracts. And they don't stop them from doing what they are doing because they are romancing together.
Go to medical doctors, pharmacists, university lecturers, military officers. We are not rich. If you want to be rich, don't be a civil servant. Anybody that is on salary is not a rich person. Whatever you are paying at the end of the month, you are going to multiply it by 6 times or 7 times. From my vice chancellor to chief medical director of University of Maiduguri, in kuna da zaka ku ba su kar ku saya. They don't have money, they are not rich. And they are not aspiring to be rich. We are rich because of that knowledge. We are proud. Even the rich people come to us for guidance on what they don't know. And in that, there is what we call consultancy. So the professors will be rich depending on the consultancy they are given to administer. You go to America, you go to Europe, you go to Asia, you come back, you do your work, you are with your money now. As medical doctors, they have consultancy from Maiduguri, they go to Abuja, they go to Lagos, they go to Dubai, they come back. This is consultancy. The same thing to pharmacists, the same thing to engineers, the same thing to journalists, the same thing to lawyers, but it's not salary. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying. So prepare yourself for it. Prepare yourself for it. And then lastly, you are not what you think you are only what you think what other people think you are, isn't it? Some people will now propel their children to go to illegality. You are all my students. There are some parents who will decide to highlight or sideline their children. They are the ones that are coming to appeal on behalf of their children. How can you as a parent come to the university seeking for the clearance of your children? How do you expect them to learn something? How do you know and train yourself among your peers? You don't do that. So when you are talking about leadership and the corruption, first of all, think that these leaders become corrupt depending on your demands. You become a local government chairman, the people of your neighborhood will now come with a piles of applications that they are looking for one appointment to their children. If you are a councillor, the same thing. If you are a commissioner, the same thing. If you are a minister, the same thing. If you are a governor, the same thing. If you are a president, the same thing. But let me tell you the truth of the matter. Ku tashi ku zauna. Ku gani komai da gidan gaskiya. In my department, if a student approach me that they have problem in Kososo, do you know what I tell them? I will tell them, as you approach to appeal to me, those persons against whom you are complaining are also your parents. You know, we are surrogate parents. We call it in local parental role. Go to him or her. Reason with him or her. They will consider you. But I will be corrupt if I say sit down, pick my phone, call on that teacher because he has been my student, and maybe I have supervised his PhD or his master's degree. Yes, sir, come. What did I do? I did not only commit an act of corruption, but I desecrated his status as my colleague. I showed that student that he is nothing. It's not good. This amount what we call blackmail. So deceptive, somebody in Ministry of Finance will give a letter to somebody in Ministry of Agri. How do you exercise authority where you don't have authority? You don't do that. Give everybody their due respect. Recognize everybody's position. Even if it is your son, recognize his position. But for you to do something that you know will not achieve the expected result is an act of corruption. Not only corruption, but it amounts to blackmail. Many of your fathers will just sit down and talk. And will say, when you go to Professor So-so, he's going to solve your problem. Yes, the professor will solve the problem, but that is not the right channel. And you students, instead of you to focus on your attention to check your studies with hardness and seriousness, you now blame your teachers on either religious bigotry, nepotism, or other sentiment. You don't need to attach anything to it. This is not the way to get it done. Am I clear? Am I clear? Once there is opportunity, grab that opportunity. But try to ask yourself, why do I want it? If I get it, what will I do with it? If I lose it, how will I part with it? And always remember that you don't control anything. Even your life, you don't control it. What you have, you don't control it. Your privileged position, you don't control it. Your personal belonging, you don't control it. Your connection with your parents, you don't control it. Your father, your mother, your children, your wife, the money in your bank account, the businesses, the position you occupy, you don't control it. You should know that. The slightest thing that I want you to realize is, for you to free yourself from corruption, always remember that even that health that you are in, your health and safety, you don't control it. Now you are healthy. In the evening, the body condition may be different. Ask those people who have children, when their children are having feverish condition, how do they feel it? Do they control it? Do they control it? What do they do? The highest thing is you struggle to go and see the pediatric doctor. Isn't it? What do they do? Do they take away the ailment or they treat the ailment? Do they have the deadline? They did it. You see your children are dying before you, you don't have any power. You see your parents are dying before you, you don't have any power. You see you are losing huge amount of money that you have deposited, you don't have any power. So why do you need to amass more in illegal way? I hope you are getting what I'm saying. It's good for you to be rich, but let it be legal. What does not belong to you will not belong to you. No matter how much you accumulated, if it is accumulated in the wrong way, wallahi it will go as if you didn't get it. And then the humiliation of it is better you are not on that position. Ask anybody who had been in privileged position to control many resources, The moment they leave that office, I think they are the people that you will pity in the case of the heart. Stop corruption. Once you are not corrupted, you are not indulged in acts of bribery, you are not indulged in any wrongful act, you see you are always normal. You are free. You have a freedom of movement. Your mind is very free. You don't look down on anybody, and everything is going to be set aright. Even if you die, your children will not suffer. Who are you to say that you are going to accumulate it for your children? No. Who was your father? Who was your father? Like me, I don't have anybody that even read ABCD. All of them are having Quran. It is because of my karambani that I happen to be speaking in A and B. And I will make mistake to make my children like myself. No, they have their own destiny. They have. Mine is only to guide them. I hope you are getting what I am saying. They may be more than me. And every parent is praying for his children to be more than them. Every teacher is praying for his students to be more than them. But in the right way, in the right direction. I hope you are getting what I am saying. So leadership is not restricted to political leadership. Economics, institutions, organization, classroom, hostel, everywhere there is leadership. And corruption is inbuilt in you, the human being. And the human being is corrupted because of expectation from the people that he surrounds himself with. The reason why there is no corruption in China is because if you caught me, Ibrahim Umara, as being corrupt, you, my own student, will be given 100 lashes each. Everybody, my students that surround me, all of you will be given 100 lashes because you allow me to corrupt myself. 1. 2, my colleagues in the department will be given 150 lashes each. And then from there, you will be separated with your children. You will be separated. Your wife will disown you. You disgrace her. So she's not going to associate herself with you. She will disown you. Your wife will go. And then the people in the community will not be allowed to even bring down your children. No, your children will be left on their own. For 3 months, the elder brother is toiling on how to take care of his brothers and siblings. After 3 months, one will be taken to Lagos, other one will be taken to Patakot, the other one will be taken to Sokoto, the other one will be taken to Yola. No contact. Before you do that, you have to confess that I am not a good father, I am a corrupt father. They will hate you. Once there is a commission of sentence on you, maybe if they jail you for 10 years, 45 years, you will not see them, you will not hear from them. After 5 years, they will now be invited from Sokoto, Patakot, Yola, and Sokoto. Come and see your father. In between the father and the children, there is a glass. Soundproof room. You just see them, you don't hear what they talk. They don't hear what you are talking about. And then they will be taken back again. 3 years to your termination of the period, they will be brought in. Then the same glass barricade, but this time around there are little holes within which there is a sound that you will communicate with them. You are happy communicating with them. In the process of communication, sharp, time is up. Get out, get out, get out. Look at this humiliation. Then when you complete your 10-year sentence, then you are now going to be reunited with your family. And then you will be careful on how to handle things. This is just in this world. So, corruption is systematic. The people who surround you, don't allow them to push you. Like I tell you, now you are a professor, review the money upward. Do they want me to steal? They want me to be corrupt. Why are they saying that? They are encouraging me to take something that does not belong to me, isn't it? Yes, that is what they mean. And I know that corruption in reality because I serve in the flood committee. I know how people are corrupt. Stop accusing government. The masses are the most corrupt people, more corrupted than the government. The government is an institution. The government governs people. Governance is all about connecting ruler-rule relationship. So you are not what you think you are, but you are what you think, what they think you are. Every morning somebody will come, school fees for my children, marrying out my daughter, my child is going to register there, and your salary is only 150,000 naira. And you are giving out 100,000 naira to this, 200,000 to this, 300,000 to this, and they know it does not belong to you. What did they do? They push you into what? They push you into what? I'm asking you, tell me. Corruption. You are what you think, what other people think you. Always keep this in mind. My son, when you are talking about corruption, you are what you think, what other people think you are. If you think they will come to you and you will solve their problem by taking something illegal and giving it out to them because they want to praise you, you are already corrupt, they already know that you are a corrupt person. But if they come to you, you say, no, 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 like Muhammad Buhari, our Baba, Allah Bashir Dogone. You know, he was in Borno State, if you don't know, as a governor of Northeastern State. And he had very good relationship with some people. When he becomes the president, the children of his friend went to Katsina to see him when he was at home. He said, "Kai, Koma Kunda Gashiba, Yakan Gashiba, a whole president. Kashibutza Daga Borno, Badia al Bashiba. Can you believe? I hope you are getting what I'm saying. But the problem of Muhammad Buhari is, he is not corrupted. But then those people who surround him. But I didn't say anything. Why would I want to go? Alhamdulillah. Salaam alaikum.